の底で飛んだ熱がまっすぐ駆け上がる Firing aerodynamic rap strokes cross the radiant mesh of layer tone Let it write melodic streaks Twist skyward like charged ribbons of rising flame 気分が舞うほど視界が軽やかに開く Carving a clean route to the luminous incline stretching overhead Driving crisp syllables into the trembling vertical beam of harmonic lift Riding the drum machine pulse rumbling like compressed pressure beneath my stride Like ascending chords 一種のひらめきが足元に静かに落ちて力を Weaving cadence into the bright air stream Tightening around my frame Breathing sharp concentration into the glowing turbulence Brightening the climb Letting hi-hat spark into thin edges Racing up the incline 気持ちが跳ねるたび空気が澄む Sending rhythm through the shimmering passage Lighting the upward path Drawing warm resonance into the tonal layers Tremble beneath my ribs Letting rising pulses shape a steep arc Spilling upward into the sky
未来の息遣いが胸でほのかに響く Lifting my stride into the prismatic surge Unfolding ahead
Breaking from the dissolving force Scattering behind each step Breathing deeper into the intensifying flare Pressing through the air 気分の表宿がまっすぐ前を開く Slicing rapid rap elements across that harmonic corridor
Letting luminous burst widen the ascent Accelerating toward its peak Driving each measure into the incandescent gradient Sharpening my vantage 胸を打つリズムが進行の芯を作る Aligning cadence with the tonal incline Rising under my pace Cutting roots through magic winds Swirling across the climb Letting frequency filaments mark Rails of motion along the edge
未来の瞬きが胸で柔らかく揺らぐ Threading breath through the shivering plates Spreading upward Breathing tightly as the vertical pressure shifts into a vivid column Letting resonance fan out like molten streaks Climbing across the field 気持ちが跳ねるほど進行が軽く伸びる Carving my momentum along the prismatic ramp Narrowing toward its crest Fueling force through the heated shimmer Streaming into the sky Letting tonal beams sharpen the entire path into one climbing arc
未来の光が胸で静かに重なる Gathering breath into the last swell of incandescent lift Breathing firmly into the compacted blaze Rising overhead Letting chords collapse into a clear sphere of radiance 気合の結晶が胸をまっすぐ突き抜ける Firing the closing hook like an Aerocline Sparkflow Cutting into the vivid sky We vibrate into the fire gleam of rising suppression
I let the sharpened tempo settle tightly into my lungs 胸でひらめく熱がそのまま前へ駆け出す Releasing polished rap bursts across the radiant scaffold of tone Let it bright frequencies curl upward like top Ribbons of accelerated fire 気分が浮き立つたび世界が開く Carving my direction through the luminous incline Forming overhead Driving crisp syllables along the trembling sweep of harmonic lift
Riding the dense quake of drum machine strike Shaking the ground beneath my stride 未来を照らす細い光が胸の奥に差し込む Threading breath through the upward thickening Resonance around my stance Breaking off the faint static of hesitation Dissolving behind my motion
Rolling my voice into the prismatic lane Sculpted by ascending chords
気合にボイスずつが足元へすっと落ちて力になる Shaping cadence through the charged turbulence Drawn across my frame
Breathing sharp tension into the shimmering one
Flowing upward letting hi-hats flat into thin edges Streaking along the
rhythm with the rising pressure slicing the air.
Drawing tonal warmth into the layers, humming under my ribs.
Letting luminous strands form an extending arc that reaches higher each second.
未来へ向かう遠い線が胸で明確に光る Guiding my stride through the pulsing ascent, flashing overhead.
Breaking a dissolving haze.
Stretching thin along my back, breathing tight into the chromatic burst, distorting the upper air. 気分の高まりが勢いそのものへ変わる。Sending rapid rap strokes across the radiant corridor, letting melodic burst widen the flare, spinning toward the crest.
Driving each measure into the bright ingredient, filling my vision. 胸の仏動が奇跡を描くように進む Grounding my cadence in the luminous funnel, shifting beneath my step.
Cutting through the prismatic roar, reverberating above, letting tonal jets form rails of motion along the trembling incline. 未来への着感が胸に高く刺さる Threading breath across the glowing layers, rushing skyward. Breathing deeper as the shimmering current tightens, letting radiant pulses form clear markers along the route. 気持ちが一つ跳ねるたび空気が揺らぐ Pushing cadence into the luminous stretch, reaching across the air, fusing intent to the heated draft, steering my motion, letting rising frequencies carve a bright spine into the sky. 未来が胸の中で確かに息づく Moving along the stacked resonance, guiding my ascent, breathing fire into the vertical flame, gathering overhead, letting chord fractures map a tight sweep into the crest. 気合の頂点が胸で強く跳ね返る Driving the final burst along the shimmering ridge, letting the air split into a single rising beam of tone, breathing through the last shock of luminous pressure. 未来へ走り出す決意が胸いっぱいに広がる Releasing the closing hook like a Thrustline Radiacore, cutting to the vivid sky. Raving through the flare, saturated swell of shimmering synth momentum. I let the rapid tempo anchor itself deep into my lungs.
Mune no soko de zenita netsu ga sugu ni hane agaru. Fire arrow that make rap strokes through the radiant mesh of layer tone, letting bright harmonic lines cross skyward like slivers of kinetic flame. 気分が跳ねるほど空気が一つ研ぎ澄まされる Carving my trajectory through the luminous incline, lifting higher above, driving crystals across trembling contour of tone surge, riding the drum machine, quake pulsing like a compressed voltage stream beneath my stride. 未来へ向かう
静かな光が胸にひそり刺す
Spreading breath
into the prismatic drop, swirling out across my posture, breaking the faint residue of hesitation, drifting down my wake, throwing my voice into the radiant rail, caught by ascending chords. 石の雫が足元にすっと入り力へ変わる Weaving cadence into the upward twisted wind,
blooming across the atmosphere. Breathing sharp and focus into the chromatic turbulence, brightening the climb, letting hi-hats spark like glinting shards, streaking up the incline. 気持ちが舞うように高く進む feeding rhythm to the luminous channel, drawing everything upward. Drum warm resonance into the vibrant hum, pressed beneath my ribs, letting tonal burst flow into a steep arc opening toward the sky. 未来の地図が胸深くで静かに線を引く Lifting my stride through the shimmering tension, blossoming ahead, breaking loose from the dissolving haze.
spinning behind each step, breathing intensity through the harmonic blast, folding across the upper air.
気分のひらめきがテンポの視界を押し広げる Slicing rapid rap angels across the radiant corridor.
through chromatic winds, trembling around the climb, letting frequency shards thread rails of motion across the air. 未来を抱く感覚が胸でじんわりと motor threading breath into the luminous funnel rolling across my stride.
Breathing harder as the pressure condenses into a heated column, letting tonal currents stretch into upward flames of color. 気持ちが跳ねるたび外が一つ伸びる Carving deliberate motion along the upward channel, glowing into its peak, feeding force into the re-endraft, lifting the entire route, letting chords fracture into refraction, streaming skyward. 未来の脈動が胸でふっと震える Driving pace into the final sweep of shimmering resonance, breathing the last thrust through the bright airstream, letting a single luminous thread cut sharply into the upper field. 気合のきらめきが胸を鋭く突き抜ける Firing the closing hook like a Voltcrest Aircharge, tearing into the vivid sky. Surging into the bright incline of shimmers in propulsion, I let the rapid tempo lunge. 真んに吹くまま
自分がそのまま全身の火となる Firing sharp and rap streaks across the radiant matrix of rising tone, letting luminous melodic traces arc skyward like elastic spirals of heated air. 気分がひらめくたび視界が澄み切る Carving my ascent along the prismatic incline, tightening overhead, driving crisp syllables through the trembling contour, forming lift, riding the drum machine, quake pulsing like compressed energy beneath my stride. 未来へ伸びる静かな予兆が胸にそっと刺す threading breath into the chromatic
Drafts swirling through the atmosphere, breaking the faint trace of hesitation, shearing up behind, throwing my voice into the radiant rail.
cast by escalating chords.
石の雫が足元にすっと落ちて背中を sweeping cadence into the bright airstream, expanding across my frame, breathing laser clarity into the luminous turbulence rising above, letting hi-hats flicker into sleek sparks racing along the incline. 気持ちが歩く弾むほど心境がとても
Drawing resonance into the vibrant pressure humming beneath my ribs, letting rising pulses shape a steep sweep toward the sky. 未来の呼吸が胸の奥で優しく揺れる Pressing my step into the radiant field, stretching higher ahead, breaking loose from the dissolving haze, thinning behind, breathing deeper into the upward surge charge across the air. 気分の強力が前に角度を作るSlicing aerodynamic rap lines through the luminous corridor, letting radiant bursts widen the ascent, climbing toward its crest, driving each measure into the incandescent gradient, sharpening my focus. 胸を打つ律動が北斗の芯を作る aligning cadence to the shimmering incline, bending beneath my pace, cutting a clean vector through the trembling prismatic winds, letting frequent sparks trace rails of motion through the climb.
未来の飛行祭が胸に柔らかく落ちる threading breath into the tonal blaze,
Pulsing through the upper air,
breathing harder as the rising pressure fuses into a single ramp, letting radiant fragments stretch upward like molten lines of speed. 気持ちが跳ねるたび吸気がすっと整う carving my momentum across the ascending arc, shimmering with heat, fueling motion
entire route toward its apex 未来を迎える確信が胸に静かに広がる Gathering stride into the last vertical sweep glowing above
Driving into the Voltcrest of shimmering and turbulence I let the accelerating tempo root itself deep in my lungs 胸に差し込む熱が一気に跳ね上がる Fire and stream of rap lines across the radiant initial rising tone letting bright my light I feel immense leap skyward like narrow spirals of kinetic fire 気分が揺れるたび風景が澄んでく Carving my motion through the luminous incline bending overhead pushing crystal levels into the trembling rail of harmonic lift riding the drum machine quake pulsing like a pressure surge beneath my stride 未来を灯すわずかな余剰が胸でそっと震える threading breath along the prismatic sweep rising around my posture breaking the trailing haze of hesitation fading behind my step throwing my voice into the reddening lanes
Cool. 石の voice into the reading lane cast by steepening chords 石のひれが足元へすっと落ちて my os Weaving cadence with a shimmering drop Swirling across the atmosphere Really sharp focus into the kinetic Turbulence brightening my field of view Letting hi-hats scatter thin streaks Racing up the incline 気持ちがひらめく旅空気が軽くフラグ Sending rhythm into the vertical path Brightened by harmonic flare Drawing tonal warmth into the resonance Humming beneath my ribs Letting rising pulse form and arch deep into the sky
未来のラインが胸で柔らかく輝く Lifting my stride through the bright currents Spreading across my direction
Breaking the dissolving fog That once clung to my wake
We're breathing tightly into the chromatic turbulence Folding upward 気分の跳ね返りが進行を押す Cutting rapid rap strokes along the shimmering corridor Letting resonant bursts magnify the upper channel Tightening ahead Driving each measure into the luminous incline Sharpening my trajectory 胸の鼓動が速度そのものへ変わってく Locking cadence to the prismatic lift flowing under my pace Cutting pathways through the flickering gradient Shaking the upper air Letting radiant fragments Paying rails of motion across the climb 未来をの気配が胸で温かく揺れる
Threading breath through the shimmering plates Swirling overhead
Breathing deeper as the tonal pressure to a dense beam Letting frequency lines stretch skyward like glowing cores of heat 気持ちが高く持ち上がり視界が開く Carving clarity through the ascending Arc gleaming with intensity Feeling the next stride with the flare Erupting beneath each measure Letting humming streams tilt the whole skyline Into a narrow rise 未来へ手を伸ばす勇気が胸で息づく Channeling force into the brightening route Nearing its crest Breathing strongly into the final vertical blaze Letting chords fracture into one sharp upward thread 気合の光が胸をまっすぐ突き抜ける Firing the closing hook like a Skybound Pulsecaster Ripping into the vivid sky Leading fiercely into the crest from an outlet climb Letting chords fracture into one single vector over and lift
Charging upward into the bright surge of expanding intention Now let the rapid tempo weld itself deep into my lungs 胸の底から湧いた熱がそのまま軌道へ変わる Fire and refine rap vectors across the luminous grid of rising tone
Iridium, melodic fragments unwind Skyward like spirals of lightweight flame 気分が弾むたび空気が開いてく Carving my momentum Along the prismatic incline Tightening
levitation, drifting behind my pace. Throw my voice onto the radiant lane, sculpted by elevating chords. のしつくは足元へまっすぐ落ちて力を押す Weaving cadence into the shimmering current, twisting upward around my frame.
Breathing sharp and clarity into the glowing turbulence, rising through the atmosphere. Letting hi-hat flare into slender streaks, racing up the incline. 気持ちが弾む瞬間に視界が澄む Channeling rhythm into the vertical draft, winding across the climb. Drawing warm tunnel pressure through the melodic layers, humming beneath my ribs. Letting ascending pulses form a rising arch, casting brightness into the upper air. 未来への一筋のラインが胸で静かに光る Lifting my stride through the radiant spread, gathering ahead, breaking the soft haze, dissolving faintly at the back of my route. Breathing tightly into the chromatic swirl, thickening toward the sky. 気分の高まりが次の活動を開く Slicing rapid rap patterns across the hanging corridor, letting luminous bursts widening and the ascent glowing toward the crest, driving each measure into the incandescent gray and shaping my field of view. 胸のリストがホップの軸を強く作る Aligning cadence with the prismatic incline, rising beneath each step, cutting through the tonal wind, trembling across the meter passage, letting frequency beams trace rails of motion along the climb. 未来にすっと届く wind spreading over my line, breathing swiftly as the airflow compresses into vibrating color, letting hanging currents tilt the sky toward a narrow ascent. 気持ちが跳ねるたび進行が一つ加速する Pressing intense into the vertical flare, threading the route ahead. Feeling motion through the brightened airstream, coiling upward, letting total fragments leap ahead like molten ribbons. 未来の兆しが胸の奥を柔らかく照らす Gathering speed through the charged incline, nearing its final rise. Breathing fiercely into the shimmering crest, forming overhead, letting chords fracture into a single vector of brilliant lift. Launching the closing hook like a Glideforge Ascendline, piercing into the vivid sky. Breathing roughly through the intensifying swirl, climbing the air, letting frequency plays form across my stride. 気持ちが軽やかに浮き上がって進む
Yo! Try to brush up the gun and set, generate my verse, the shimmering each measure.
胸に吹き上がる熱がそのまま速度に変わる Firing rays a smooth rap strikes through the luminous lattice of tone, letting bright harmonic fibers unravel skyward like spirals of kinetic light. 気分が跳ねるたび空気が鮮明に揺らぐ Covering
Rhything cadence to the accelerating wings, fighting into the air, breathing sharp and focus into the vivid turbulence, twisting around my stance, letting hi-hats crack like thimbles, streaking along the incline, 気持ちが高ぶるたび視界が明るく広がる
Drawing rhythm into the radiant funnel, rising layer by layer, pulling warm resonance into the tonal plates, vibrating under my ribs, letting bright pulses scaffold a vertical arc toward the sky. 未来へ続く線が胸で鮮やかに映る propelling my voice through the shimmering tension bloom blooming overhead, breaking faint echoes fading like dust behind each step, breathing intensity into the harmonic surge, pressing through the air key, 分の太鼓が背中を一押しする slicing rapid cadence across the lifted framework of sound, letting clarion burst widen the upward corridor, flashing ahead.
Driving every phrase into the right compression, filling my field of view 胸を打つことが道筋を開く Locking rep to the prismatic pitch, shaking the atmosphere, cutting through the fractured glow, shimmering in the upper layers, letting tunnel sparks stream like molten traces in my wake 明夜の確信が胸に細い軌跡を落とす Guiding my lines along the flaring gradient, pushing the horizon upward, breathing roughly through the intensifying swirl.
Climbing the rare rapid through the intensifying swirl, climbing the air, letting frequency blades form a charged spine across my stride. 気持ちが軽やかに浮き上がって進む threading precision through the shimmering veil, thickening before me, driving heat into the ascending blaze, bursting between each measure, letting resonance twist the sky. We like to guide and ram, 未来を迎える勇気が胸で強く踊る Pulling the last surge, Railing turbulence, Railing through the lens, Very fast for sharp intention, Railing turbulence, Falling down.
Ready pressure, ready pressure, ring like free for sharp intention. Breaking into the rising blaze, assurance in propulsion. I let the tight tempo drill straight into my lungs. 胸に差し込む熱が一気に跳ね上がる Fire and lean, rap arcs to the prismatic scaffold, the climbing tone.
Letting bright harmonic fibers skywine skyward like spirals of energized wind. 気分がひらめくたび視界が澄み渡る Carving my momentum through the luminous incline, flaring overhead, driving syllables down the trampoline rail of tonal lift right in the drum machine shock, rumbling beneath my stride like a high tension surge. 未来を照らすかすかな光が胸の底で震える Threading breath into the escalating resonance wrapped around my frame, breaking off the faint haze of hesitant shimmer, dissolving behind my direction.
Throwing my voice onto the radiant track, pulled taut by ascending chords. 意志も指導が足元にすっと入り込む Weaving cadence into the shimmering cyclone, curling along my posture, breathing intense clarity through the charged airstream, lifting the field, letting hi-hats scatter like sharpened glints, streaking up the vertical path. 気持ちが離れたび世界が一つ開く channeling rhythm into the prismatic corridor, growing brighter with each beat, drawing thermal vibration into the warm pressure ringing under my ribs.
Letting melodic currents build a wide arc, rising deeper into the sky.
未来の印が胸のところでかすかに瞬く Pushing my stride into the glowing turbulence, arranging self overhead,
Breaking the remaining, blurtening at the edge of
確かに刻む Anchoring cadence to the vertical flare Stretching across the climb Cutting through chromatic winds Rippling above the rising path Letting tone shots Shape rails of motion through the blazing field
未来へ届く感覚が胸に静かに響く Threading breath Through the breath Through the prismatic cascade And hope's been flipping me Breathing harder as the tone lift Compresses into its peak Letting frequency sparks light upward Like molten streaks of color 気持ちが跳ねた瞬間に全てが軽くなる Carving precise lines through the air Thick and gradient feeding momentum into the flare Accelerating the atmosphere Let him humming jets push the entire sky into a narrow rise 未来の息遣いが胸深く入り込む Turning every breath into forward thrust along the intensifying route Breathe into the incandescent tension Marking the crest ahead Letting chords burst into a single beam Pointing skyward
気合の光が胸にまっすぐ刺さる Firing the closing hook like an Airstride Voltbreaker Giving you the vivid sky
Racing upward into the vivid swell of shimmering synth ignition I let the sharpened tempo settle deep inside my lungs
胸の中黒で灯った熱が一気に加速へ変わる Firing clean Rap vectors through the radiant framework of rising tone Letting bright harmonic ribbons arch skyward like stretched streams of kinetic light 気分が浮くたび風景が澄んでいく Carving a direct route along the luminous incline unfolding ahead Driving chrysyllables cross trembling contour of melodic Riding the drum machine quake bursting like compressed voltage beneath my stride
未来へ向かう長官が胸にスッと落ちる Threading breath into the tone of blaze Guiding across the air
Breaking the faint blur of hesitation thinning behind my motion
Throwing my voice through the prismatic rail drawn by ascending chords 石の光が足元へまっすぐ流れ込む Weaving cadence into the shimmering no drop Wrapping around my stance
Breathing sharpened energy into the swirling airstream heating the sky Letting hi-hats spark like slender shards stringing up the passage 気持ちが跳ねるたび道が明るく伸びる Binding rhythm to the brine current charging the climb drawing warm Resonance into the vibrating layers beneath my ribs
Letting luminous pulses form a rising arch that booms into the upper air 未来のラインが胸の奥で静かに光る Driving my motion through the prismatic funnel bending overhead
Breaking the loose shadows scattered along the route behind me
Breathing tightly into the vivid resonance filling the
気
field
分のひらめきが見つけな王を一つ照らす
Firing rapid rap strokes into the onion corridor
Letting radiant burst wide in the glowing route pushing toward the crest
Driving measure after measure into the blazing gradient Sharpening my focus胸を打つことが進行の角度を決める Locking cadence to the bright shift sliding across the ascent Cutting through the chromatic record echoing round the upper air Letting shimmering fragments painting rails of motion 未来を流れる風が胸でそっと揺らぐ Threading breath through the tunnel coils layered across my stride
Breathing fuller as the luminous pressure closer Letting frequencies ripple upward like heated ribbons of color
気持ちが風に乗るように一段持ち上がる Marking my line along the rising contour sound
Charging into the steep flare, rising synth resonance. I let the accelerating tempo lock firmly into my lungs. 胸の奥を駆け抜ける熱がそのまま高く昇る Aerodynamic rap streaks cross the radiant span of climbing tone.
Letting bright melodic fibers unravel skyward like kinetic strands of sharpened light. 気分が揺れ上がるたび視界が鮮やかに進む Carving my momentum along the luminous incline, tightening above.
Driving crisp syllables through the trembling edge of harmonic lift. Riding the drum machine quake, pulsing like rapid pressure waves.
Beneath my stride 未来をつかむかすかな感触が
胸にフットさ
Spreading red along the expanding thrust.
Vibrating across my frame.
Breaking clear, all dissolving static, dragging loosely behind.
Throwing my voice onto the prismatic rail, drawn tight by emerging chords.
石の響きが足元にそっと落ちて Weaving cadence into the shimmering of drops, swirling across my posture. Breathing hard, focus into the vivid turbulence, brightening the atmosphere.
Letting hi-hats flash like thin sparks, skimming up the incline. 気持ちが跳ねた瞬間に風が進む Charging rhythm into the vertical passage, unfolding ahead. Drawing warm resonance through the rising layers, humming under my ribs.
Blending tonal arcs, sketch a steep and sweep into the open sky.
未来へのわずかな気配が胸で静かに揺らぐ Lifting my stride through the radiant belt, flickering above.
Breaking loose from the thinning haze, trailing faintly behind.
Breathing into the chromatic surge, rumble across the upper
気
air.
分のひらめきが前を一つ開
Slicing sharp rap lines through the humming corridor.
Flowing in front of me,
Letting radiant burst right in the channel, pressing toward its course.
driving each measure into the shimmering incline, sharpening my focus.
胸を打つ列語が道の軸を作る
Aligning cadence,
But the bright and gradient rising beneath my step.
cutting rapid pathways across the prismatic wind, turning over the climb.
Time. Letting tonal current shape rails of motion into the atmosphere.
未来の呼吸が胸の奥で強く響く
Through the luminous plates, vibrating in the upper reach.
Breathing faster as the upward pressure narrows into a single lane. Letting frequency lines coil upward like molten patterns in flight.
気持ちが跳ねる旅速度がまっすぐ伸びる
Carving clear motion through the vertical arc, glowing above, pressing each phrase into the heated airstream, pushing skyward.
Letting resonance tilt the scenery into a focused ram.
未来へ向かう静かな熱が胸に染みる
Gather a moment, tune into the bright and full of
Breathing the last surge through the saturated chromatic field.
Letting chords fracture into a single luminous
気
beam.
合の衝撃が胸で鋭く跳ね返る Releasing the closing hook like a Shiftflare Aerocrest, soaring to the vivid sky. Verify the sky. Verify the sky.
Cover bacon. Yeah. Come on, go break it down, come on. Driving into the luminous well of fast rising.
Losing pressure, I let tight tempo grip tightly. 胸の奥で止まる熱が一気に勢いへたわる Firing streamline rap streaks across the radiant structure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Letting bright melodic ribbon spiral skyward like kinetic rays of flash air. 気分が軽く跳ねるほど視界が開く Carving a sharpened passage along that prismatic incline. Blooming overhead, sliding crisp syllables through the trembling tension of harmonic lift. Riding the drum machine quake, trembling like compressed energy beneath my stride. 未来を迎える静かな予兆が胸へそっと差し込む Threading my breath into the luminous sweep, tightening pressure
Bring the flame, distortion, no hesitation
Dissolving behind, throwing my voice onto the radio rail car by surging chords 石の火花が足元へまっすぐ落ちる Fusing cadence with the swirling airstream Thickening toward the sky, breathing raise the clarity into the bright and drifts around in my stance Letting hi-hat split into thin spots King along
気持ちがヒットさじゅむたび来る気がない過去になるジャジュが飛べ Train the body, the band, let's make it
I'm turning one resonance into the two-note break on our rails
Letting light pulse get steep on ascending toward out the air 未来のラインが胸で安定した光を放う
My steps into the shimmering turbulence arranged ahead Breaking loose from the dissolving haze Fading out the slope behind Breathing tightly into the rising prism of sound Climbing the sky 気分の通りを Feel the Z の道を一つ照らす Slicing rapid fire rap currents Across a harmonic corridor Letting radiant blast wide in the ascent Pushing toward its crest Driving every measure into the incandescent Gradient sharpening in my view
胸を叩く鼓動が進む角度を作る Aligning cadence with a luminous reach Stretching across the time
Get around Yeah
Cutting crisp pathways through the chromatic winds Burning tonal currents, pure rails of motion Beneath my stride 未来へ進む炎が胸に
強く刻まれる Trading God for a pavement
進む方向が胸に強く刻まれる Threading breath through the shimmering funnels Opening in the upper layers Breathing faster as the rising tension Condenses into a bright column Letting frequencies fold upward like molten bands Crossing the air
Yeah 小文字が風を掴んで一段持ち上がる I'm mining along the vertical sweep riding ahead Feeling precision waiting radiant flame tightening through the scene Running resonant arc shape the sky
Single line未来が胸深くで確かな熱を帯びる Gathering intent along the charging line Nearing its peak
Like a Nordic trust the night
Ascending into the shimmering crest of electrified sense motion I let the sharpen tempo well deep self into my lungs 胸の奥に膨らむ熱がそのまま上昇へ感じる Fiery swift rapid filaments across the radiant lattice of a rising tone Letting luminous my light stride
Twist skyward like spirals of kinetic brightness 気分が跳ねるたび空気が吸って軽く You like carving a decisive route along the vivid incline Lifting overhead Drumming crystal syllables down the trembling conduit of late harmony Riding the drum machine jaw shaking beneath my stride Like a charged seismic pulse
未来を開く小さな日差しが胸にそっと浮かぶ Threading breath through the prismatic sweep thickening air
Break fade remnants of hesitation spilling off behind
Throwing my voice into the radiant veil Sculpted by brightened chords 石のひらめきが足元へまっすぐ響く Weaving cadence into the swirling drift
anchored in the upper air 未来の道筋が胸深くで心地よく振動する Driving my stride into the bright and turbulence Glowing overhead, breaking the dissolving haze Clinging to the leftover trails Breathing tightly into the tonal surge Climbing the sky
気分のひらめきが背中を軽く押す Slicing crisp rap pattern Through the humming corridor Letting radiant pulses widen the upward channels Shaping the view
Driving every measure into the shimmering pressure Sharpening my focus 胸を打つリズムが方向の芯を作る Holding breath against the bright gradient Folding beneath my step Cutting through the chromatic wind Trembling along the step Let it echo
Letting free flashes Mark steps along the luminous climb 未来に触れそうな熱が胸の奥に伸びてく Treading cadence through the vertical sheets Rattling apart Breathing power into the tightening prism Lifting the fetal flail Letting harmonic sparks turn the air into a guided ramp 気持ちが風を掴んで一つ持ち上がる Charging my lines with flare surging between each measure Riding the vibrant pressure streaming through the skyward funnel Letting total ramps open like radiant gates across the air 未来の影が胸で優しく光る Pushing my voice into the charging climb Nearing its peak Breathing harder as the luminous tension climbs into its crest Letting chords fracture into bright rails Rising through the upper drift気合が胸を走り抜けて方向を示す Delivering the final burst into the blazing vertical channel Launching the closing hook Pulseglide Ascendora Cutting into the vivid sky Hurling my sense Hurling myself into the swirling blaze of rising foam to propulsion I let the rapid tempo lock tightly into my lungs
胸の内で芽生えた熱がそのまま消えやって変わる Firing condense rap Strokes across the radiant lattice Off to no left Letting bright harmonic strands Curl skyward like sharpened spirals of kinetic fire 気分が跳ねるたび空気がスッと軽く揺れる
Carving my moments along the luminous incline Stretching overhead Driving crisp syllables down the trembling ridge of harmonic surge
Riding the drum machine Tremor bursting like a charged undercurrent beneath my stride 未来へ続く飛行が胸のシングル静かに震える Threading each breath through the prismatic sweep Tightening around my posture Breaking the faint static of hesitation Falling behind my pace
Throwing my voice into the radiant rail Carved by escalating chords 石の気配が足元にそっと落ちて前を押す Weaving cadence into the upward drifting airstream Forming across the field Breathing sharply into the chromatic turbulence Vibrating overhead
Letting hi-hats burst like sleek sparks Ripping up the incline 気持ちが軽やかに浮き上がって進む Charging lifting through the vertical channel Brightening under the climb Drawing warm resonance into the tonal structure Hung under my ribs Letting shimmering pulses shape a keen arc Rising deeper into the sky 未来の印が胸の静かな場所で光る Lifting my stride Across the radiant shiver Spreading in front of me Breaking loose from the dissolving haze Folding behind each step
Breathing gently into the ascending prism Fill the atmosphere 気分 Tracing aerodynamic rap lines through the harmonic corridor, letting radiant burst wide in the upward track, racing toward its crest, driving measure after measure into the luminous gradient, compressing my focus. 胸を打つ鼓動がそのまま寿司の軸になる Aligning cadence to the prismatic incline, rising beneath my gauge.
Cutting crisp pathways through the chromatic wind, rattling the upper air, letting tonal jets scatter rails of motion through the climb. 未来へ進む輪郭が胸で安在感に伸びる Threading breath into the shimmering blaze, gathering around my frame.
Breathing deeper as the tonal pressure narrows into a bright column, letting frequencies stretch upward like molten ribbons across the path. 気持ちが波のように跳ね上がるほど軽くなる Carving movement along the rising contour, blowing hard with heat, feeding intense into the radiant thrust, pushing everything skyward, letting harmonic streaks tighten into a clear beam across the field. 未来の呼吸が胸へ静かに流れ込む driving the final surge into the luminous ramp, nearing its crest, breathing whole into the flare, shimmering across my
Letting chords fracture into a single line, defining the horizon. 気合の火花が胸にまっすぐはねる Launching the closing hook like an Aerospike Runflare, piercing into vivid sky.
We get into the acceleration, into the destination. Surging into the kinetic blaze of rising luminance, I let the titan tempo bind itself deep inside my lungs. 胸に宿った熱がそのまま
Ihinoye conjure the fiery sleek wrap filaments to the radiant mesh tonal lift, letting bright heart longing traces uncoil skyward like energized spirals of airborne flame. 気分が跳ねる旅視界がまっすぐ進む carving a clean high velocity path through the luminous incline forming overhead.
Driving crystallibles down the trampoline beam of shimmering resonance, riding the drum machine, jaw bursting like compressed voltage beneath my stride. 未来の軌道を示す行幸が胸でうっすら灯る Threading breath into the rising tension, vibrating across the air, breaking the thin layer of hesitation, peeling away behind me. 石の左は足元に静かに落ちる Weaving cadence into the bright and slow surrounding.
My stance, breathing, razor straight focus, and an expanding airstream heat in the upper atmosphere, letting hi-hats scatter like brittle sparks racing along the incline. Kimochi ga haneru tabiki ga hirakeru, charging, rhything with a vertical flare, pushing skyward, drawn warm resonance into the deepening hunt.
Feeling tonal burst of the steep arc gliding into the upper air.
未来への印が見る一枚中で柔らかく光る lifting my stride.
Through the radiant turbulence flickering ahead, breaking the dissolving echoes drifting behind my direction, breathing deeper into the chromatic surge, thickening the field. 気分が跳ね返る旅前の道が明るくなる
Slicing rapid rap currents through the shimmering corridor, letting melodic flashes widen the ascent, folding upward, driving each measure into the incandescent tension, filling my view. 胸を叩く駆動が進むための信号を作る aligning cadence to the luminous rise.
Searching across the climb, cutting clear pathways through the prismatic wind, rushing overhead, letting bright winds stream like molten shards against the air. 未来をつかむ予感が胸に
Aerodynamic rap strokes across the radiant mesh, your climbing tone. Let it ride harmonic streaks coil skyward like sharp and arcs of sliding fire. 気分が舞う旅視界が一つ Lookなる carving my ascent along the luminous
incline, forming overhead, driving crystal syllables across the trembling reach of tonal lift, riding the drum machine, quick curling short bursts of pressure beneath my stride. 未来へ向かう淡いひらめきが胸静かに触れる threading breath through the prismatic tension, twisting up the atmosphere, breaking remnants of hesitation, thinning behind my step, throwing my voice into the radiant track sculpted by tightening chords.
石の日が足元にゆっくり流れ込む Weaving cadence into the bright wind blooming across my posture, pretty sharp and focused into the glow and turbulence swelling in the upper air, letting hi-hats crack like fine sparks racing up the incline.
気持ちが跳ねる瞬間に空気が研ぎ澄まされる Charging rhythm into the rising corridor, lit in prismatic color, drawing heated resonance into the vibration, pulling beneath my ribs, letting tonal pulses form a rising arc, sweeping toward the sky's upper fold. 未来の輪郭が胸でかすかに息づく Lifting my stride through the radiant surge, flashing across my path.
Breaking away from the faint haze, dissolving in the slipstream behind, breathing deeply into the chromatic pressure swelling across the field. 気分の跳ね返りが two bone の視界を開く slicing rapid rap vectors through the harmonic passage.
Letting shimmering burst widen the upward chest.